Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day is going wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me. Well, today I'm going to create a project with the Spellbinders Glimmer Kit of the month for September 2021. This month's Glimmer Kit is called Glimmering Build a Banner, and then you also get some polished brass foil. So pretty. I love the polished brass foil. And the banners are so nice because there's lots of occasions in here. I'm going to read them off to you while I cut. I'm going to bring in my quick trimmer while I cut some foil pieces down. I'll go over the sentiments. You have wishing, you have birthday, congrats, you have thank you, you have you a happy. I'm reading backwards, so and then you have your truly. So you can build your own sentiments and create short banners, long banners, whatever you like, and curved banners and straight banners. There are some accent pieces that you can foil. The top two glimmer plates have diagonal stripes on there, so it creates the illusion of depth for your banners, and it's so neat the way this works out. And then you also get 3 cutting dies. The cutting dies will actually create your banner. So I just cut down a few strips of my polished brass foil, and I have my glimmer machine off to the side. I didn't push I didn't turn it on actually, so we're gonna wait for it to warm up a bit. I'm gonna put my plates on here and waiting for my ready light to go on. While that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and trim down a couple pieces so they'll fit over my thank you. We're going to make a thank you card today, and then also my accent piece here. The accent pieces are basically for the banners that go underneath, and so the shorter one I'm assuming are for the end pieces, and then the longer one is the one that you want to use if you layer 2 or 3 together. I'm going to be using my Glimmer Specialty Cardstock to glimmer, and we're just going to trim down a small piece and put this over on top of our sentiment. And I think, you know what, as I was doing this, I think we need a bigger piece. Our banner, I'm not sure how long it is, so I'm just going to grab a larger piece, put it on top, and push my little timer button. And then while this is warming up, I can trim down some cardstock. I wanted to use some yellow and some brown cardstock. Brown cardstock is timber, and then the yellow is, I believe, beeswax. And I wanted to do a little foiling along the edges, so I'm bringing in one of my Glimmer rectangle die sets. This is called the Essential Duo Lines die set. I'll link it down below, but it has the thicker line and a thinner line, and they're really close to each other. And I wanted to add gold accent to the edge of my papers. I'm gonna, since I want it lined up beautifully, I want to tape this down and do the flip it around and do it opposite to what I'm doing now. I'll show you in just a minute. So there is my thank you and my diagonal lines here. I need one more diagonal line to finish off my banner, so I'll put some foil on top of there, grab another piece of my glimmer cardstock, and any cardstock that you have, guys, would work. I always have my sandwich ready with my glimmer plates here. I have a piece of cardstock and then another piece of printer paper. That's just my shim. I think depending on how much you use your die cutting machine will basically depend on how you adjust your shim plates. You might not even need extra shims in there. So my banner pieces are basically done. We'll die cut those out in a little bit, but in the meantime we're going to go ahead and foil our Essential Duo lines on our colored cardstock. And you know, I'm going to cheat a little bit. Instead of using the piece I already trimmed down, I'm going to bring in a larger piece of my beeswax cardstock, and then I'll trim after I foil. This way I know I can guarantee a straight rectangle. My timer light went off, so I'll run this through my die cutting machine. You'll see I just used a larger piece of cardstock for this. And this way, sometimes, I promise you, sometimes when I line up my glimmer plates on a pre-cut page, it's hard to get it straight. So this way is a no-fail. I can just trim off the excess, use the scraps for some flowers because it always works perfect for flowers. And then I'm going to do the same thing with my timber cardstock. Instead of using the one I pre-cut, I'm going to go ahead and take a larger piece, put foil on top, build my sandwich, and then we'll die cut our banner in the meantime. Okay, I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer, and we're going to go almost to the thicker line that we glimmered on this cardstock. We're going to mat both of these together, and there's not too much wiggle room, so I'm going to go almost to the edge of my glimmer line here. I'm going to trim all four sides, and then my timber cardstock is ready to go, and we're going to trim this down too. So this is all the foiling that we're going to do, and I'm looking for some fall colors, and so but I wanted a happy kind of a thank you card. So after we trim this down, we're going to go ahead and build our sentiment. I think what we're going to do, we'll start off by adhering our beeswax cardstock to our timber cardstock. Both of these, I'm saying names of the cardstock, but you guys, this is a Spellbinders Color Essential cardstock. If you haven't tried it, they have a variety pack. It's very nice heavyweight cardstock. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and die cut out one more of my banners. Now that one I just die cut out with my white cardstock, and you don't have to do this, but if you like to mention and want to pop it up, I think it's way easier. I'm going to go, and I have my flowers. The flowers are actually from the large die of the month club kit. There are so many different flowers and elements of the large die of the month club kit. I just die cut out some white flowers, and I thought we would layer those together along with some green leaves. But to create your banner, a one layer banner, you take your diagonal glimmered die cut piece and line up both straight edges on the left side and on the right side. And it creates this kind of S shape. And then that's why I had that extra piece. I'm going to take my thank you and add foam adhesive behind it, pop it up right over the existing banner. And then I have a flat surface for the back. I have a little bit of dimension, and I can pop this entire thing up. In fact, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to grab a piece of foam tape and put that right behind my thank you. And then we'll go ahead and remove the release paper and put this on our panel. I love polished brass too. I think it's such a pretty color. Okay, the sentiment is done. Now all we need is some pretty flowers. So I'm going to go ahead and add a piece of foam behind my panel. We're not going to remove the release paper just yet. I wanted to bring in my card base. I'm going to be using a standard A2 size card base, and originally I was going to leave it white. I thought about embossing it, but I changed my mind and thought, you know what, let's go a little bit country. This is a background stamp set from Fun Stamper's Journey in Spellbinders. When I went to do my linking, guys, this is actually on sale right now for $4.49. So it's pretty nice. It's called Flannel Life. I'll link it down below. At least it was $4.49 on September 7th. Actually, for September 8th. Yeah, yesterday. So check it out. That's a really good price point for a background stamp. I'm going to actually color the entire card front with this background stamp, and I'm going to use a brown ink. The brown ink that I like to use is Memento Rich Cocoa ink, and I'm going to cover my entire background stamp and stamp it right over my card base. And you know what? On September 10th, Spellbinders is having a huge sale. I don't know if this is going to go off sale and then there are new stuff's coming in, but today, with it being the 9th, I know yesterday this stamp was on sale for I don't want to confuse anybody, but it was on sale for a little over $4. I thought that was a great deal, but I'll link it down below. But if you're watching this a week from now, I don't know if it will be on sale. So just depending on when you watch the video, I suppose. So this is stamped, and it is an A2 size card front stamp. It's not a larger one. When I stamp it on panels, sometimes there's some white edges. It doesn't bother me because I can just trim off the white areas on my background panel, and it's slightly smaller than an A2 now, but it will still fit in your envelope. Nobody will ever know. I'm going to remove the release paper, add my panel with the glimmering foil on it. This is going to go in the center. And I love the flannel print background. I just think it looks really nice, especially with the checkers with the diagonal stripes on the banner that says thank you. It really goes really nice together. You'll see in the close-ups. But I'm going to use my flowers. These are nice because you can layer them together. I cut 5 big flowers and then 5 slightly smaller ones. They kind of look like honeysuckle flowers. We're going to actually layer them on our larger flower. The smaller flower on the large flower, and we're keeping them white. It has beautiful etched detail in there, and I love the way this turned out. We are going to pop those up though. You can glue them directly to the flower, but I'm going to add a little extra dimension. I die cut out leaves with all 3 of the green cardstock that Spellbinders Color Essentials has. There's fern, there's peridot, there is rainforest on the leaves. So I just added those around my floral arrangement. Now we're going to add some bells and whistles. I'm using my Color Essential gems. This is the gold mix, and I have for some reason 2 packages that usually I don't like to do this. I finish one package, open up another, but I have 2 packages that are open at the same time, and it's kind of a good thing because I needed the middle size for the center of my flowers and the tiny ones for around my background. But I love the way this turned out, and I hope you do too. I thank you for joining me, guys. Have a fabulous day. We'll see you soon, guys. Bye-bye.